Right now, you can feel your heartbeat. You feel safe. But according to medical science, the moment your heart stops, you are not yet dead. And that distinction unlocks one of the most chilling discoveries in the history of science. So what is actually happening inside your brain at the very edge of death? In 2013, neurologist Dr. Jimo Borjigan and her team at the University of Michigan measured the brain activity of rats whose hearts had been stopped. Their expectation was simple: silence. But what they saw shook the scientific world. In the first 30 seconds after cardiac arrest, brain activity surged to a frequency 7 to 9 times higher than that of a fully conscious waking human. As if the brain, before the curtain falls, fires every last reserve of energy all at once. A century of memories, faces, voices, emotions, everything, simultaneously, like a single final cry. This study was published that same year in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, and it permanently altered the course of medical history. Atlanta, 1991. A woman named Pam Reynolds is laid on an operating table. For a brain angiography, her entire body temperature is lowered to 16 degrees Celsius. Her heart is stopped, and blood flow to her brain is completely cut off. The surgical team confirmed that any neural activity was impossible. And yet, Pam described the exact shape of the surgical tool used, fragments of the surgeon's conversation, and the movement of the operating lamp, with precise accuracy. Dr. Michael Sabom documented this case in his 1998 book, Light and Death, and to this day, no neurologist has offered a satisfying explanation. Somehow, in the very middle of death, the brain continued to exist. For centuries, we thought of death as a single moment, like a fragile glass, either whole or shattered. But modern medicine has shown us that death is, in fact, a process, a transition from one scene to the next, the stage still lit before the curtain has fully closed. In a 2006 study published in the journal Resuscitation, Dr. Sam Parnia examined cardiac arrest cases in intensive care units and reported that 15% of patients had clear, structured experiences during clinical death. Not a dark tunnel. Most of these experiences involved vivid colors, meaningful sounds, and familiar faces, like a computer making one final sweep through all its files before shutting down. But this process has a timeline, and every second has its own story. In the first 10 seconds after the heart stops, the brain is deprived of oxygen and consciousness blinks out, not like drifting into sleep, but like a circuit breaker tripping in an instant. In the following 20 seconds, according to neurologist Dr. Kevin Nelson's 2011 research, the brain region responsible for REM sleep, the dreaming center, can become activated during the dying process. This may explain why the visions at the moment of death feel so vivid, so unmistakably real, and by the 60th second, waves of neuronal discharge reach their peak. Some researchers call this the terminal brainstorm, as if every door in the brain is slammed open at once. And so we must ask, if the brain is this active after death, who owns that activity? Your memories, the faces of the people you love, the feeling of joy. Are they still continuing in those 60 seconds? Medicine cannot give a definitive answer. But what it does know is this: even when your body goes still, your brain keeps speaking for a little while longer. And perhaps death is not the ending we imagined. Perhaps it is the final page of a book whose last sentence has not yet been finished.